You filled your tank last week. It cost you $80. The week before that, it was $60. And 3 months ago, it was $40. Nothing changed about your car. Nothing changed about your job. Nothing changed about your life. But somehow, overnight, the world decided that getting to work is a luxury. This is not an accident. This is not bad luck. This is what happens when the entire global economy runs through a waterway 2 miles wide and someone decides to close it. Meet John and Liam. Same city, same income, same car, same commute. Both of them watched gas prices explode in 2026, but only one of them saw it coming. And the gap between them right now is not just money. It is the difference between surviving this crisis and being destroyed by it. Hit subscribe right now, because what we cover next makes this one look small. It is February 2026. Oil is trading at around $70 a barrel. Gas prices across America are averaging $3.25 a gallon. Nobody is worried. John drives 35 miles to work every day. He bought a used SUV 2 years ago. Good deal, comfortable, reliable. His monthly gas bill is around $175. It fits into his budget fine. Liam also drives to work, but Liam has been watching something. Tensions between the U.S., Israel, and Iran have been building for months. Nuclear negotiations have collapsed. Military movements in the Gulf are increasing. Liam starts reading about the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow waterway barely 2 miles wide at its tightest point. 20% of the world's oil flows through it every single day. Liam thinks, what happens if that closes? John does not think about it at all. February 28th, 2026. The United States and Israel launch coordinated airstrikes on Iran. Within days, Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, the largest oil supply disruption in history. Within 1 week, crude oil surges past $100 a barrel for the first time in 4 years. Within 3 weeks, it peaks at $126 a barrel. Gas prices in America, which were $3.25 a gallon before the war, climbed to $4.25 a gallon by early April. JP Morgan warns they could hit $5 a gallon by the end of the month if the strait stays closed. John is in pain. His $175 monthly gas bill is now over $290. He cuts back on eating out. He skips the gym membership renewal. He tells himself it is temporary. Liam saw the warning signs in February. Before the strikes, he made 3 moves. 1, he downloaded a fuel management app and started optimizing his daily routes, cutting unnecessary mileage by nearly 20% before prices even spiked. 2, he moved his emergency fund from a regular savings account into a high-yield savings account at 4.2% annual yield. 3, he put $2,000 into a diversified energy ETF when oil was still at $70 a barrel. By the time the strait closed, Liam's fuel costs had dropped meaningfully just from smarter driving. His emergency fund was earning while everyone else was burning through theirs, and his energy ETF had gained 47% in 6 weeks. John is bleeding money every time he fills his tank. Liam is making money from the same crisis. Let us stop and count. It is April 2026, 6 weeks since the war began. John's additional gas costs since February, $690 out of pocket and climbing. But here is what most people miss. Gas prices do not just hurt you at the pump, they move through everything. Your grocery bill went up because every truck that delivers food runs on diesel. Your Amazon order costs more because every warehouse and delivery van runs on fuel. Your landlord raised rent because his maintenance costs went up. Your favorite restaurant added a surcharge because their supply chain costs exploded. John's indirect inflation damage. Groceries up roughly $80 a month. Delivery and everyday goods up another $60. Service costs creeping higher every week. Total financial damage to John in 6 weeks. over $1,400. And this is before his employer starts talking about cutting hours because the business cannot absorb energy costs. John did not make any bad decisions. He just did not make any decisions at all. Now Liam, his route optimization savings, approximately $55 a month in fuel costs from smarter driving alone. His energy ETF on $2,000 invested at oil, $70 a barrel, now worth $2,940. That is $940 gained, while John lost $1,400. His high-yield savings account earning 4.2%, generating real returns, while inflation eats John's idle cash. Total gap between them in 6 weeks, over $2,300. But here is what nobody is talking about. This crisis is not over. The ceasefire announced on April 8th is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. After that, oil could spike again. Gas could hit $5, maybe $6. And John has no buffer, no hedge, no plan. He is one more escalation away from genuinely not being able to afford his commute. Liam is positioned for either outcome. If the crisis ends, his ETF holds gains, his root savings continue, his HYSA keeps compounding. If the crisis continues, his hedge grows and his fuel costs stay low. He wins either way. That is not luck. That is preparation. But wait, before you run out and buy an energy ETF and a fuel app tonight, you need to understand something. Liam almost did not make these moves. And what almost stopped him is the same thing that stops most people from protecting themselves before every financial crisis. Stay with me. Here's what almost stopped Liam. Doubt. In February, when Liam started reading about the Strait of Hormuz, he told his friend about it. His friend laughed, said he was overthinking it, said these things never actually happen, said the last 10 times someone predicted an oil crisis, nothing came of it. Liam almost believed him. But Liam asked himself one question. What is the cost of being wrong in each direction? If I prepare and nothing happens, I lose a little convenience. I drive slightly smarter routes. My $2,000 sits in an ETF earning modest returns. My savings earn 4.2% instead of nothing. If I do not prepare and something does happen, I am completely exposed. No buffer, no hedge, just paying whatever the market decides to charge me. The cost of being wrong on one side was small. The cost of being wrong on the other side was devastating. That asymmetry is everything. John never asked that question. He assumed continuity. He assumed tomorrow would look like yesterday. It did not. So here is the ledger. John. No preparation, no hedge, no plan. Additional fuel costs since February in $720 and rising. Quality of life cuts, $400. Zero investment gains. Financial stress, high. Options right now, almost none. Total damage in 6 weeks, over $1,100. Liam, prepared 6 weeks before the crisis hit. Fuel savings from hybrid, $90 a month ongoing. Energy ETF gain on $2,000 investment, $940. Emergency fund growing at 4.8% while inflation rises. Total positive swing over $1,000. Financial stress, low. Options, right now, multiple. Total gap between them, over $2,000 in 6 weeks on the same income. John is not stupid. Liam is not a genius. The only difference is that Liam understood one thing that most people never learn until it is too late. Financial crises do not come without warning. They come with ignored warnings. The Strait of Hormuz did not close overnight. The tensions built for months. The signals were there. The news was there. The history was there. John saw the same world Liam saw. He just chose not to look, and right now at $4.14 a gallon and climbing, that choice has a very specific price tag. If this video made you think differently about how you prepare for the next crisis, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to see the next financial trap most people walk straight into, it is already on this channel.